If you've been looking for ways to help your little ones fall in love with reading, you're in the right place. Today we're going to share 11 super simple ideas for ways that you can help your child learn to love reading through play.
All of these ideas are about empowering your child to see that they are readers and empowering you as the facilitators of their development, the ones that are around them the most, to see the ways that you are already kind of nurturing that development. And we're so glad that you're here to join us as we share them. Let's jump in. Our first way for you to encourage a love of reading and books with your children is to hide them all around the house sneakily, and then invite your child to go on a book hunt, almost like a treasure hunt, to retrieve all of them from their sneaky little spots, under cushions, inside of cabinets, wherever you may desire. Plus, for Playdate, you can always make this an interactive activity for more than one child and switch it up so that your child is the hider and you are the seeker.
Next, we'd love to encourage you to take your child to the library to get a library card or to the bookstore. And when you get there, be sure to engage with the librarians or the people who work at the bookstore. Get your child involved. Have your child ask for the kind of book that they might be interested in. They'll learn a lot, and they'll learn that other people are as excited about books as they can be. You could invite your child to think about making their own bookstore or their own library. Invite the other family members, invite grandma or grandpa or friends to come in and check a book out.
You want to buy this one? I'll go through and scan.
And let your child show their expertise in all the beautiful books that they've fallen in love with.
Our next way to encourage love of reading and get kids excited about all different kinds of books is to read things other than those fiction stories, to read nonfiction books, to read other types of content that get kids to make that connection between the words on the page and excitement in the real life. So one that we absolutely love are cookbooks. This happens to be a child's cookbook written by the author of one of our favorite books, Pandas Love Pickles. Inside, it's filled with different recipes that are just for kids with clear illustrations, being able to follow multi-steps and get excited about creating something delicious to eat. Another type of nonfiction book that we absolutely love, and we know kids do too, are nonfiction stories about animals. These types of books teach children things and can really easily tap into something they're already super interested and excited about. You can also have resource books, one that you clearly wouldn't read end to end, but almost just as a resource, again, to get little tidbits of information and of course, lots of things from the pictures in the book. And the last one we want to share, just because it's one of our favorites, mostly to expose them to buildings. So again, nonfiction information about structures that maybe they visited, maybe they'll one day visit. But again, a book can take you there whether you're physically there or not. Like adults, children are drawn to different types of books and different types of information. So hopefully this breadth of material on the nonfiction side will get your kid even more excited about the possibilities of all the literature and resources out there.
For our next idea, we would love to encourage you to incorporate audiobooks into your child's literacy journey. We love the Yodo player. It's a great way for your child to listen independently to whatever book that they choose. We always encourage listening to stories when you're in the car. It's a wonderful way for your child to engage their imagination. When my kids were little, we must have listened to thousands of stories. We drove a lot, and it was their favorite thing to put on a great book. Also made it much easier to get into the car the next time, because sometimes we would stop a book halfway through and they couldn't wait to go on the next trip to find out what was going to happen next in the story.
One way we love to get kids excited about books and reading time is by creating a cozy nook. We know some people already have these areas in their homes, but we invite you to think outside the box. Maybe think about bringing some blankets into the bathtub or building a fort, carving out those cozy spaces, inviting your child to build them with you. So bringing in their favorite things just to create a different environment for them and one that they can associate with reading time.
Having that dedicated space for reading where they can always bring their books and leave them there to go back to also helps build an association between that warm, intimate, cozy feeling that we get when we're enjoying our favorite books. At Elemento Play, we believe that books are not just for bedtime. So this idea involves taking books out of bedtime, not only bedtime, but also the bed place. So we suggest that you bring books wherever you go. Keep a box of books in your car or a bag.
Whatever crazy place you dream up, whether it's under the table or on top of the table. For us, again, it's just all about creating that culture of reading, bringing it out of bedtime and saying books are for all times. Our next way to encourage reading is to write often. Now, this is really just all about making the connection between symbols and meaning. Whether it's pictures or actual words, make lists together. Invite your child to create that grocery list with you or the list of things they want to get for their birthday.
Once you have a grocery list, bring it with you to the grocery store. Let your child hold it in their hand. Let them reference the list for the apple and go and find it and see how important their writing really is.
Anything that can get them, again, associating that idea of what's inside my brain, what's on the paper, and then what does it represent. So anything that's meaningful to them.
Oh, it's time for our next idea. It's about reading in the presence of your child. This is kind of the do what I do, not just what I say idea. If you show that stories are important and your own reading is important, your child will want to emulate you and might also find time to sit down and read for themselves.
It's all about creating that culture of reading in your home. So you're modeling that it's something that you do during the day. You can do it together, of course, but even when it is just your own special time, it's, again, important to celebrate. Our next way to encourage a love of reading is to form a book club with a grandparent or another family member. I know, surprise, surprise, at Elemental Play, obviously we're all about the book club. And this one in particular, we've seen so many grandparents that get excited about joining our book club for themselves so that they can have the books and their grandchild can have the books to interact with. Again, we know multi-generational interaction is so important, but whether it's with, again, that grandparent or even just a family member or your whole family together, that idea, again, the culture of talking about books, reading the same books is a great way to encourage that love of reading.
Yeah, and just to toss in there, when we say form a book club with a grandparent, it doesn't have to be super formal. You can call it a book club, and it could just mean that every Tuesday at 3 o'clock, you read a few books with grandma or grandpa. Our next idea is to practice making predictions when you read with your little one. This is a super simple activity that will help your child start to think about storyline and start to engage much more deeply with the book. You can ask your child, the little gorilla grew and grew and grew. What do you think will happen next? When you wait and pause and let your child think, it gives them the opportunity to really think about what will happen next and get excited about turning that next page. It's a great way to practice abstract thinking and thinking about what's to come. It's a foundational literacy skill.
And I think most importantly, it makes the reading experience super interactive. Invites that back and forth, both between the book and the child and you and the child as you're able to chat a little bit about your ideas of what might happen next.
And honestly, don't you now want to see what's going to happen next? What do you think will happen next? Shall we find out? Let's turn the page. Were you right?
Here is our last one for today, and we think it's a great one to kind of end with in thinking about what reading really means. We invite you to allow your child to tell you the story when you're reading by going through the pages one by one and taking a picture walk, inviting your child to look at those picture cues and tell the story on their own. This is often most effective when it's a familiar book. So kids love to kind of read the story. And again, it's empowering them that their pictures give them information that they really are readers, which obviously is going to get them even more excited about reading in the future, whether it's learning to read or being read to.
It's also great when your child is taking a picture walk and telling you the story of what they see happening on the page.
5 little children up one day.
To call them out as readers and say, wow, I love when you read to me. You're doing an amazing job reading this story. All right, well, that's a wrap. We hope that you enjoyed today's 11 super simple ideas to help your little one fall in love with reading through play. We hope that this video expanded your ideas of all the natural ways that you can encourage literacy development in your little one. We hope that we shared with you ways that it can be stress-free and easy. And most of all, we hope that through these tiny moments, your child will start to connect the idea of joyful play and reading books.
If you're looking for more ways to nurture a love of reading, head on over to elementalplay.com and join our book club so that you can receive a beautiful book each month with activities designed to bring that book to life through play in your home. And if you enjoyed this video and want to get more information and content from us, please subscribe and turn on notifications so we can share videos like this with you. Thanks for watching. Bye.